Hi, we are at RBET Vienna and we have a deck profile for you with a very special deck and a special guest. Maybe you can tell us what you played and what you achieved.
Hi, I'm Callum. I am from the UK and I made top 16 at RBET Vienna in the main event with Polyfrogs. Not the 60 card variant that you're used to, although you might have seen kind of floating around. This is 40 cards, again kind of trying to straddle the Frog engine and all the explosive things that can do with Fishborgs and Substitute, and then also with a Miracle Fusion Polarization package, which makes you a bit more resilient in game one to decks like Glad Beast, decks like Blackwing, because you have access to Absolute Zero, while also being really explosive, so having a good matchup potentially against Forgs, where you're just able to kill them really quickly with Polarizations and Miracle Fusion. So I'll get into it. So we've got the Frog engine to start with. Obviously free Subsurge, free Swap, Treeborn, Double Des, Double Dupe, Flip Flop and Unifrog. So again, because we're 40 cards, we have to trim some of it down. So obviously normal Forgs would play Triple Des Frog, it would play Triple Dupe Frog, play Beals Frog, sometimes it plays second Treeborn in the main. And there's also two Fishborgs as well. Normally that plays a third Fishborg, it plays two Dandelion. So you have to trim things down a bit, but this still allows you to do some really explosive things. This still makes a lot of damage. You can still OTK people with just access to Frogs with no access to Miracle Fusion by like making two big Synchros and getting some Swap Frogs on the board as well. So again, like allows you to do all the really explosive things, but you don't have that sort of card advantage engine from the Dandelions. Instead, we're playing a hero package. So Stratos, Ocean, Double Malicious, which gives you back some of that card advantage, and Prodigy. This is obviously your like kind of slimmed down hero package for the Miracle Fusions and Polarizations. We're also playing two Kingless Swamp for Polymerization access. This is really good. Obviously it's a water, so you can pitch it for Murray, you can pitch it and then get it back off salvage, again giving you more access to polymerizations. And then with a bit more access as well to this side of the deck. We've got these, so you're looking at about 8 heroes, which you should see about 80% of the time in your opening hand. You should see at least one hero card, which is about good enough for us for the deck. And that kind of combos with your 2 Polymerization and your 3 Miracle Fusion. So again, able to put a lot of damage out with just these or these, even before you kind of get to like the sort of broader Frog engine, and able to like really put out a lot of damage or play quite a stable game with Substitutes and Dupe Frogs and Flip Flop or Unifrog, and then just having this as like a backup as well. Obviously Absolute Zero is good on defense as well as attack, because it kind of sits and prevents them from killing you a lot of time unless they draw Brain Control. So yeah, really positive card. Then lastly we've got obviously the Salvages, the Avarices, again just kind of for card advantage, the best cards in the deck. You always play these in Forgs and you can't cut them down. 2 Murray, again cutting down a little bit on the Frog engine to sort of give you access to this part of the deck. And maybe I would play the third if I had the space, but I don't think you need it. 2 is plenty. And then 1 for 1 Heavy Storm, obviously staples. 1 for 1 giving you Subsurge or Fishborg access. So yes, you've cut down on Fishborg, but you still have access to Future Fusion and 1 for 1. So you're still kind of playing effectively 3 or 4 copies, depending on what you draw with 1 for 1, which again tends to be enough. And when you don't draw Fishborg, you're often drawing like this side of the deck anyway. So again, really solid, really happy with the list. 40 cards, really clean, and was able to go 7-2 yesterday, beat Blackwings 4 times. Just really solid card advantage engine, and again, like something people aren't expecting as well. So yeah, that was a way in which kind of people were caught off guard and found it difficult to play around and just died to like loads of damage really quickly.
Yeah, definitely. If I play against the deck, Yeah, or if people don't see the hero engine, for example, first, they can really get caught off guard. So
Yeah, and then I'll talk about the extra really quickly, and then we'll talk about side. Extra is kind of as you'd expect. Again, kind of straddling the hero and frog engines together. So again, you've got kind of access to all of your kind of tools that you would normally have in frogs. You got your 2 armory arms. Again, you can course armory arm people. Didn't come up for me yesterday, but you can do it. Obviously, Catastrophe Android, kind of level 5 plays, sort of not infrequent. Ocean is obviously a water that you can synchro with Fishborg. So you can make 5s or 6s with Ocean, which is something I did earlier. I made a Bryanak off of this and a Treeborn. So again, really flexible with this. Got Gaia and Goyo, again, part of the sort of the 6s package to kind of kill people really quickly with Desfrog. Then you got Black Rose, Starston Colossal. The 15th card is Terra Firma, Mr. Worldwide. This card did come up for me yesterday, but the reason it's relevant is you can Miracle fusion it with King of the Swamp and Ocean, making sort of a 25 guy. You do go through 3 oceans sometimes, so it's a 4th fusion to make, and it contribute a 0 to go up to 5k, and then obviously it pops their board, so you've got the additional, like, it's kind of cute. It doesn't come up that often, but it is a relevant card to have in the extra deck.
Did you kill with this line with the tributing?
Not yesterday, no. I didn't make it yesterday. Honestly, like, the main thing I made yesterday was 0s. I didn't really make that many synchros. It was just sort of Bryanak and these. But normally I do make, like, you cross armory on people, or you make the Terra Firma and kill them like that. So yeah, there's a lot of ways in which you can, like, get 8k damage with this deck using the extra deck. Yeah, so the only thing kind of to talk about in terms of main deck choices was Infernal Prodigy. This was a late addition instead of the Second Ocean or instead of Bubble Man, both of which are completely fine. Obviously, Second Ocean gives you a bit more access to Terra Firma. Bubble Man gives you kind of a bit more stability as a 4 to make, again, with Fishborg, to make a 5 or a 6. But Prodigy was really good games 2 and 3. Which I'll show in a second, and again, like with Substitute, it's a 1 card star with sub, so really solid. I like this a lot. Outside of that, not a lot I would change in the main deck. I think I would keep it as is. I think it's really solid. Yeah, I think the games on stream were a bit unlucky. Obviously, game 1 I think I could have played slightly differently with the polymerization, but I think I was going to struggle into that hand anyway, off of Vayu, which is part of the game.
You were on stream twice, right? Yesterday
no,
also?
just today.
Just today.
Top 16. My losses in Swiss yesterday, I'll just talk about my games. So I played against Blackwing 4 times, Glad Beast twice, Vayu once, Quick Draw once, and Diva Hero once. I lost to Diva Hero and Glad Beast. Diva Hero, I lost because I didn't really respect deck dev enough out of that deck, so I only kind of partially sided. We'll show what it looks like to kind of side more solidly against deck dev in a second. And Glad Beast I could have sided a bit differently as well. So the side deck, essentially the idea is you have a lot of options, but against Blackwing and Vayu, so deck dev decks, you are obviously, in Frogs normally, you would conversion side. So similarly, you're kind of conversion siding into Hero Frog. So we've got 3 Caius, 2 Riser, Malicious Edge and Gauze, Brain Control, and then your 7 traps, Rageki Break, Deep Prison, Torrential and Mirror Force. So against Blackwing and Vayu going second, I just side all 15 cards. And I side out something like, well, I'll come to this in a second, but I will side out something like I think it's these 15. So these 14 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'll side out these 14 cards, and then against Blackwing I'll side out the flip-flop, and against Vayu I'll side out the Desfrog instead. And you side in these 15. So you kind of convert from a kind of really aggressive Polymerization deck to kind of a more calm Frog Hero deck. I think the things to think about here is obviously this makes you a lot more solid into deck dev. Polymerization against deck dev is horrible, and like all these cards just really suffer. Like you need like +1s and to like kind of make this deck float, and you really struggle into deck dev. So bringing in sort of the Monarchs etc. kind of solidifies you against that. I do really want to try and find space for a second Treeborn. You'd like to think you're not going to get crowed, but you do get crowed sometimes. So second Treeborn probably is needed post board. I think that's the only thing I would kind of change. Going first against Vayu and Blackwing, I tend to side something like these 5 or these 6. So again, kind of solidifying you, but not taking you too far away from the from sort of combo. And I would side out something like these plus like, if I'm playing against playing against Blackwing, I would side out this. If I'm playing against Vayu, I would side out these. So I'd probably side in like these 5 going first, just to make it a bit more solid. But also recognizing that you want to kind of keep the polymerization packaging going first, because you're able to set up a bit better against those decks. But you could certainly just conversion side every time as well. I think that would be reasonable.
That sounds very helpful for people that maybe want to test this deck and like a free side deck guide. Little bit. Yeah,
and then against Frogs, I just against Frog Hero, I just side these 7 because you're just expecting Vanity's Fiends. Against Glads, I'd probably just side these 3. Previously, I was siding out Flip Flop against Glads, but that's quite bad into Heraclinos. So I think you just bring in these. These are obviously good against Glad Beast, but they're not great. And this isn't really where you want to be. Obviously, normally conversion sides in Frogs will bring in like Breakers and cards like that, which are good against Glad Beast. Obviously, I didn't really have like the space or the mechanism to do that. I think. Yeah, I'm very happy with the list, outside of kind of finding the space for an extra Treeborn. Maybe Brain Control goes in the main and I put a second Treeborn in the side, something like that, and we go to 41. But outside of that, I'm very happy with the deck. I think it is a barrel of laughs. It is great fun. It's really solid in game 1. Obviously, like, you do lose games to like deck dev and impression game 1, but your Frog deck, you can set up really well and just kind of grind people out, and then games 2 and 3 you can catch people off guard with this, or you can just continue to obliterate them with polymerization. So if you are kind of not a fan of the Frog decks, the Frog decks, Frog OTK, and you want to play something that's a bit less stressful in terms of finding lines and finding back around micro, this deck is certainly it. I would give it a try. I'm very happy that I'm going to continue to play it. I'm going to probably play it at RBET Paris as well. I'm going to keep refining.
Yeah, I have to say this is a crazy cook, and it's the first time this type of deck has really topped, right?
Yeah.
So it's
first,
its debut. Huge achievement, and thank you for the whole deck profile and the whole explanation, and see you at future events.